Let's talk about the best cards from the RB01 reprint set, which you should look out for. With the upcoming set RB01 Resurgence Booster, there sure are many cards that I'm looking forward to get for myself. And if you're new to the Digimon card game, this set will also be perfect for you to grab a hold of a bunch of essential cards that you would need to get started. And if you have been playing the game for a little while and want to give some cool new decks a try, this product is also for you as well. Keep in mind that there's no particular order on how the cards are ranked, so let's just get right into it. The first batch of new cards, which I'm pretty sure most of you guys are excited for, would be the new Gammamon Digivolution line. Whether you're a fan of the Ghost Game animated series or looking something fresh and new to play, this is definitely something you don't want to miss out on. Siriusmon, which is the level 6 mega form of Gammamon, debuts within this set, and I just think he looks super cool. But the even better thing is that we're not only just getting one, we'll be getting two different Siriusmons with different effects, and that is really fantastic. The new level 4 line also includes the full package of Beto Gammamon, Cal's Gammamon, Wezen Gammamon, and Gulu's Gammamon. There is also a new canon-wise mod which can gain all the effects of the Gammamon related cards and effects, similar to the current one from BT10. Addition, there will also be a new hero tamer that supports the archetypes by letting you add even more Gammamon cards and sources underneath the main stack to gain even more powerful effects. Not only that the main Gammamon line will be getting new cards, but we'll be also getting the Evil Dragon versions, which includes Regulusmon and Articulusmon. And to top it all off, there is also going to be Proximamon, which is a level 7 Digimon combining both Siriusmon and Articulusmon together, which forms into a very powerful final boss Digimon for the deck. The overall idea of the archetype now merges the red and purple color strategies together, with red to delete your opponent's Digimon and purple to utilize cards and recycle them back from the trash as resource. The alt art cards for all of these look absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to get my hands on them. We can also expect that this deck is going to have quite a bit of representation as soon as we get the set when it comes out as well. Without a doubt, I'll be making a deck profile and guide for this, so if you guys are just as excited and want to see what I'm going to be cooking up, then be sure to subscribe, turn on that notification bell to stay tuned. And don't forget to give this video a like. Moving on to the second batch, there is also another fan favorite character from the Ghost game where we'll be getting an entire new Jellymon line as well. There is also the debut of the level 6 mega form, which is Amphimon. With all the new support that comes, there's a ton of really good effects where Jellymon can search, Tesla Jellymon that can play the dedicated Tamer Kyoshiro for free, there's Thetismon that trashes sources and unsuspends, and then there's also, of course, Amphimon, which is a level 6, which can bottom deck your opponent's Digimon. Just like Siriusmon, we're going to be getting another promo Amphimon as well, which can prevent the opponent's Digimon from unsuspending and even end attacks. Of course, there will be Kyoshiro himself, which can draw cards and gain memory, which is very good for the archetype. And the most interesting thing about this entire archetype is that we get to see the very first time where a blue deck starts to utilize trashing cards from your own hand to recycle cards back from the trash to bottom deck it and then to pull off combos, similar to what purple kinda does. Since we've been talking about the Ghost game, it's only fair and makes sense for us to also mention Angoramon as well. Just like Gammamon and Jellymon, this archetype will be getting an entire new line with two different level 6s being Digimons as well, which is its mega form. Angoramon will be the dedicated searcher of the deck, and it can give DP buffs with its Inheritable. Simber Angoramon can play Ruli for free, which is the dedicated Tamer. Lamortmon can gain Piercing and Trash Security, which is fantastic effects when it comes to green. Diabitmon is used to suspend down your opponent's Digimon and potentially make multiple attacks. And then with the Tamer Ruli, it provides Digivolution cost reduction and unsuspending your own Digimon at the end of the turn. And of course, I'll be covering all these new decks based on the Ghost game anime when it comes out. And if you want to see early deck lists and first drafts for the main 3 decks of the Ghost game series, then be sure to join the AVAULT Club right now by clicking on the join button. Now that we covered all the new cards, let's now talk about some of the awesome reprints that I am most excited for. Starting off first with the Memory Boost option cards. These debuted from the starter deck 7 and 8, being Gammamon and Ulforce Vegemon starter decks. They established to become one of the most important stable cards for many decks, and it's actually been quite some time since both these decks came out. And with the Memory Boost cards being such heavy in demand, I think reprinting them is a very good move because they're great staples to have. Next up, there is DemiMeramon from BT3. For the longest time, this Digi-8 card has been a very important or even considered to be the best staple for most purple decks. Having the simple effect of drawing one card and then trashing one card from your hand facilitates many combos for later on, especially when it synergizes with any on-deletion effects. Being able to cycle through the deck and set up particular cards in the trash is the main strategy and goal of many purple decks and approach. And because of that, this card has always been maintained to be fairly high in price, despite it only just being an uncommon. Also, getting a holo upgrade for it is going to be really exciting too. Another Digi-8 card that I'm looking forward to is Koromon from BT5. Since the Greymon archetype continues to receive many support and we can expect it to receive even more in the future, a general Digi-8 card that provides draw power will always be considered to be very good, unless it becomes power crept. The only reprint of this card is an alt art, which you can only receive by participating in the Evolution Cup, and that was hosted back in 2021 only. This is not a very suitable option for new players since the price of this alt art continues to go up. And just like DemiMeramon, this Digi-8 card alone as an uncommon had a peak of $5 just being for what it is. And that is why I think getting a reprint for this one is definitely some good news. Speaking of Greymon support, if you guys have been following me for a while or watched some of my deck profile videos, you will know that I love Security +1 effects just because it's generic, it helps to deal more damage, and is also the most effective and straightforward ways to win games. And that is exactly why I am very pleased to see that the starter deck 1 Greymon being reprinted right here. Even though this card got reprinted several times, pretty much a lot of times actually, with the Tamer Party Volume 1 set, Judge Pack 1, Starter Deck 11 Special Entry Pack, and a Dimensional Phase pre-release promotion, all of these reprints were not widely accessible, since they were exclusive during the time when you participate in those events only. And that is why if you are a new player getting into the card game recently, it may not be as easy to get access to this card depending on where you're located. And that is why having it to be included in the RB01 set guarantees a higher chance and ease of getting it for sure. Moving on, there is Omnimon from BT5, another card from an older set which is played in quite a number of red and blue based decks. With only a simple effect of unsuspending and blitz, it gives certain decks easy access to game winning attacks. Other than it being a useful card for playing, it is also a really good card for collecting, especially if you're an Omnimon fan, since it can be considered to be one of the main cover cards of the entire franchise. With a bunch of promo cards getting reprints as well, the one that I think that stands out the most would be the blue Tai Kamiya V-Tamer. Although this card might be rather niche and dedicated more towards O-Force fans, I still remember the time of how difficult it was to acquire this whenever there was hype for new support when it comes to O-Force Digimon. That is because this is a very useful card for the deck and the archetype can expect to receive even more support down the road, which makes this card even better. The Tai Kamiya V-Tamer card was first printed as a special promotion card where players that played back in during BT1 to BT3 can receive. With that being quite a while ago and how limited it was, getting a reprint for it can certainly help those who want to build the O-Force deck a little bit easier. But of course, there is still a bit of a problem, where we have Rena. But I'm going to leave that discussion for another video for another time. Continuing with the list, I decided to group a bunch of memory tamers together for this particular discussion in this part. For those who don't know what memory tamers are, they're simply tamer cards that have the effect of setting your memory to 3 at the beginning of the turn as long as you have 2 or less. These cards become very crucial to many decks and each of them have different secondary effects depending on what color they came from. The RB01 set will be reprinting a bunch of them including Tai Kamiya, TK Takashi, Mimi, Izzy, and Matt Ishida, which all were from the earlier sets, and we can still see them being played in today's game just because of how important they are, being considered as staples for many different decks. Now, since we're talking about tamers and them being staple cards, if you want to know what other important cards that you might want to pick up, then be sure to check out my top 6 must-have cards for 2023 right here. Are there any other cards that you guys are excited for which I didn't cover in this video? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you next video, and this is AVAULT, signing out.